Hey everybody, so if you missed our last video, yesterday a semi truck actually backed into the front of our RV and then took off while we were parked at a rest stop. We go into more detail here in this video where we kind of explain what happened, but today's Monday and we kind of wanted to update you guys on what we're going through as we're trying to figure out how we get the front of the RV fixed so that we can continue on our way and get to Colorado where we were going. So to start, yesterday right after the incident, we actually called our insurance company and we submitted a claim, and we were told since it was Sunday that we'd get a specific representative assigned to our claim this morning. And that happened. We actually reached out to her and spoke with her. She asked us if we wanted to go ahead and assign an adjuster, and once we assigned an adjuster, that meant that we were actually filing the claim under our insurance, meaning that we'd be responsible for our deductible and whatever other expenses we occur while we're going through this process. Now, at the time, I didn't really want to make that move because, you know, he ran into us, so we felt his insurance should be responsible. But I didn't have any of his insurance information. So after I got off the phone with our insurance representative, me and Katie thought the next logical step would be to try to hunt down that information. So the first thing we did is we contacted the Kansas Highway Patrol dispatch office, and we left a message for the officer that actually had pulled him over. And they said that he should get back to us and give us the insurance information. Now, in the meantime, while we were waiting, we decided, okay, we know the name of the trucking company that the driver drives for, so let's reach out to them. I reached out to them 3 different times, and I would transfer myself through their system to the claims department, the safety department, and every time it would go to a voicemail that didn't accept voice messages. So on the 4th attempt, I decided, you know what, I'm going to try the accounting department and maybe they'll answer. And they did. So I left a message for the individual that's responsible for this, though they didn't give me a name. And after that, I sent over an email to safety at the company. And then after that, I ended up calling back a couple times and leaving multiple messages, and every time I was told they were at lunch or they just stepped out or whatever. So anyway, fast forward to around 4 p.m. and the police officer got back to us. He gave us the insurance information for the truck driver and told us that he thought the best move for us going forward was to basically deal with our insurance company and give them the trucker's insurance information. Well, a couple minutes after I got off the phone with him, we received an email back from the trucking company, and all it said was in all caps, "Please forward photos." No name, no information, nothing, just "please forward photos" in all caps. So at this point, Katie and I are like really confused because we figured it would probably be the adjuster's job to take the photos and then submit them, but we didn't know if maybe the company just needed them for their records or whatever. So we sent them back an email and just asked them, hey, we have the insurance information now. Would you guys still need these photos? And we gave it a couple minutes, didn't hear anything back, so I tried to call again and I left another message, and this time the person told me that first thing in the morning we would get a call back. So now we're here. It's the end of Monday. We really haven't progressed any further towards getting our RV fixed. So it was kind of a confusing day, but we feel like we did get progress. We do have the truck driver's insurance information now, but we've decided that tonight we're just going to hold tight. And then tomorrow morning, we'll wait to hear back from the trucking company, and we'll talk to our insurance specialist once she gets back in the office and kind of figure out the best way to move forward from here. But tomorrow, we'll go ahead and update you with what we learned then, and hopefully we're moving closer forward to getting on the road and out to Colorado. So here we are, it's Tuesday, day number 3 at the rest stop, and today was both productive and quite frustrating at times. So this morning, Katie and I woke up and we reached out to our insurance company representative right away, and we gave her the truck driver's insurance information, as well as wanted to ask her if we should be working with the truck company. And she said yes, we should reach out to the truck company and also reach out to the truck driver's insurance information. So once we got off the phone, we actually received an email from the truck company that said, please send photos. If you bypass us, we won't be able to help with the claim process. Still no name, no contact number, nothing, just those. So anyway, we went ahead and put together some photos that we had taken from after the incident on Sunday and sent them over. And then after about 20 minutes, we got to thinking, and we were like, well, is the truck company and the truck driver's insurance company, are those tied together? So we decided to reach out to the truck company and see if we could get someone on the phone. Now, this time we were able to get someone on the phone. However, this is where the frustrating part came in. So while we were on the phone with her, she proceeded to tell us that there was no damage to the truck. The truck driver said he didn't get out, and she doubts if the truck even hit our RV. So for us, that was kind of insulting because we had witnesses that watched it happen, and the police had pulled over the driver down the road. Well, anyway, after about 10 minutes of talking to her, she did finally come around, and she said that she would be responsible for pushing the claim through on her side, but that with their insurance, it generally takes about 6 months for anything to get done, so that she suggested that we go ahead and go through our insurance company. And she also informed us that we should not contact their insurance company directly and only deal with her. So when we got off the phone, we felt like she had requested all the information she needed to submit the claim, and we felt like she was going to go ahead and proceed forward with that process. So we went ahead and reached back out to our insurance company and told them to go ahead and add an adjuster to the claim so that we could get the ball rolling and start to get our RV fixed so that we could move forward. And when we were on the phone with them, they requested that we have the claim number and the adjuster's information from the other insurance company so that they could start communicating and handle things correctly. Well, after a little while, we decided to contact the truck driver's insurance company directly, because when we were working with the truck company, it didn't seem like they really had our interest in their mind at all, and it just was kind of aggressive, and we just didn't want to take that approach. So we decided to reach out to his insurance company directly to see if we could get the claim numbers and the adjuster's information. Well, when we called in, they informed us that there were many other claims submitted for the truck company, but none that were related to our situation. So at that point, we decided to go ahead and push a claim through with their insurance company as well, and we gave them all of the information involving the incident that we had so that they could do that. Now, their insurance company and our insurance company both said that within 24 to 48 hours, an adjuster would reach out to us and help us move forward as far as getting someone out to take pictures of the RV and assess the damage and things like that. So also, while we were on the phone with their insurance company, they told us that generally it doesn't take 6 months for them to handle a claim when it goes that direction. So we're not as sure exactly what was going on there. We do know that the lady that works at the truck company did say that she was the only one that handles these things, and she can get kind of swamped. But for me and Katie, what was most important is for us to cover all of our bases in order to make sure that we're getting the ball rolling so that we can get fixed and get on the road again. So now at this point, we have both claims submitted, and it's just a waiting game to hear back from the adjusters. Now, I think it's also really important to note that, like, the people we've ran into, like the local people here in Kansas, have been extremely helpful. I did speak to some of the rest stop staff here and just explain the situation to them and let them know that we were probably going to be here while we waited for our adjuster. And one of the biggest concerns for me and Katie was, we're stopped at this rest stop. Like, how long can we be here? We can't drive the RV. We don't want to create more damage that then may not be covered, and we don't want to get it towed because that could create more damage. And the rest stop staff has just been extremely understanding and helpful in the process of understanding that we're going to need to be here a little while. And we also did speak with the police officer yesterday, who also informed us that we should be okay to hang out here while things are getting underway and things like that. So the people here and around here have been instrumental in helping us stay positive and moving forward with this process. But from here, it's kind of just a waiting game. So once we find out more, we'll update you on what's to come next. Hey everybody, so it's 4:38 a.m. on Thursday morning. We are still here in Kansas. We still have not heard back from the insurance companies, but today should be the day because it falls within their 24 to 48 hour window, and we're coming up towards the end of 48 hours, so we should have a better idea of exactly what the steps are moving forward. Now, the problem is that I just said it's 4:38 in the morning. So Katie woke up this morning at about 3:45, 3:50 and just said it was a little warm. So I went up to open a window. I brought the window down, and a wonderful breeze came in. It was cold and it was strong. Now the only problem with it was that when I opened the shade to open the window, it looked like craziness was going on outside, like crazy thunder, lightning, wind. It was insane. And I've been really vigilant on staying on top of the weather and seeing what's coming towards us since we've been stuck here in Kansas, because the storms happen here. It's what happens, and we're literally in the middle of nowhere. You can see forever, and it seems like it's just a breeding ground for storms. And anyway, before we went to bed, there was nothing saying that there were going to be any sort of storms or anything crazy like that. Well, as soon as we pulled up our phone after we saw that, we saw significant warnings for our area coming through. And Katie had read that there was huge hail coming and wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour. And then all of a sudden, it was literally 30 seconds after she said that, the hail just started raining down. It was really quite crazy, to be honest. And then on top of that, the rain and all that, it was a whole bunch of craziness this morning. It only lasted about 20 minutes, but it did blow through. But there was a lot of hail, so I guess we're going to see once the light comes out how the roof looks and everything like that. But today should be the day where we get everything figured out, or at least get something in motion so that maybe we can, get the hell out of here. So as you just saw from that video, we had an eventful morning. Like, we're lucky that Katie woke up because she was hot, because the storm came rolling through about 10 minutes later. Actually, our bedroom slide has been pulled in the whole time we've been here because it's actually out over the road. And we're actually lucky that it was, because all we had to do was pull in the living room slide out. And the moment that we closed it in, the hail just started pouring down. Now, there is the restroom over there, which is probably a safer structure to be in, but by the time we woke up and got out and realized that it was coming, it was too late. So we just had to ride it out instead of go out there and get in it. But it was really scary. It was windy and the hail was slamming down. Looking back on it, I wish there was some way I would have been able to get some footage of it, but in the heat of the moment, I mean, it was just hold on and hope for the best. But anyway, we woke up this morning after all of that happened, and we got through it, and I got up on the roof, and there wasn't any damage up there from the hail, luckily. Now, the driver's side mirror, which was busted and hanging on by a thread, did fall the rest of the way off, but I mean, it was destroyed already anyway. So anyway, that's about it for this storm. But today is day number 5 at the rest stop. It's Thursday. And I reached out this morning to the truck driver's insurance company and actually got in touch with them, and they had assigned an adjuster to the claim. So I reached out to her and spoke with her, and she informed me that basically the way it works is that they're going to have to run their investigation, which involves getting the police report. Now, I'm not sure if it's like this everywhere across the country, but the police officers here have about 10 days to submit the official report after the incident, mainly because of their work schedule. It just gives them that time to get the paperwork submitted. So their insurance company is going to have to wait for that and complete their investigation. But she said that it shouldn't take 6 months. It should take a week or two, maybe a little longer depending, but then she should be able to go ahead and reimburse us for our deductible and what other expenses we have. Now, the important thing to note here that me and Katie realized during this entire week is that a lot of times when you're talking to someone about a specific incident or something, they may give you information you don't like, but it's how they deliver it that makes all the difference. I mean, the adjuster from the other insurance company was very compassionate and seemed to understand and said, these are the steps we're going to take, whereas other parties we spoke to during this process were not necessarily that way, and it was basically telling us similar information, but in a completely different manner. So anyway, we really appreciate that customer service. So as we moved forward, I spoke with our representative for our claim. I haven't spoke to our adjuster specifically, but she did tell me that there was a note on the account saying that they had submitted it to an independent adjuster here in our area. So hopefully, fingers crossed, tomorrow we should hear from somebody that comes out and looks at the damage, and then we can move forward with getting the RV fixed. One other thing to note before we leave this Thursday video is that we actually have a whole lot of storms coming through again tonight. So as I'm looking at the radar and looking way west, I can see them coming and kind of read their direction, and it looks like they may pass through us, and we may go right through the middle of them and get some like of the weaker spots, with the stronger being north and south of us. But anyway, tomorrow we'll go ahead and let you know what happens with that and what happens with the claim process. But hopefully here pretty soon we'll be moving forward with getting the RV fixed. All right, so it is Friday, about 5:30 p.m. We still actually haven't heard from our specific insurance adjuster from our company. However, it turns out that she did send it out to an independent adjuster, and we just got a call. I explained their story. They were extremely busy because of all the storms coming through here, but they said that they were going to go ahead and make a drive out and go ahead and take the claim and try to help us moving along a little quicker. They said they'll probably be here around 7 or 7:30 tonight, and then they're supposed to take their photos and all the information they gather, and then they'll submit it probably tomorrow to Geico. And then what that means is that we can probably go ahead and tape up that mirror and get driving to the body shop that we found. Today we were doing quite a bit of research, and we found a body shop right outside of Colorado Springs in Colorado, which is pretty exciting. They actually will let us stay there while our RV is waiting to get repaired. They did say it may be quite a lengthy process, but they're going to try to squeeze us in along the way to make it a little bit quicker. But at least then we'll be in Colorado and in the area. But we're so excited. I mean, this is day number 6 that we've been here waiting just to get any sort of guidance on what's going on and what's happening. And today we got it literally about 10 minutes ago, and we're super excited. I'll come back after the adjuster gets here and update you on what he says and what we learned from there. All right, so the adjuster just came out. His name was Kerry. He's actually an independent adjuster that our insurance tagged to come out and take a look at the damage. So over the last week, one of the main things I focused on was really not touching the front of the RV at all, because I didn't want to be responsible for anything that would happen that may not be pegged as part of the damage from the accident. So once Kerry got here, he started taking pictures, got the pictures he needed, and then we started taking pictures of the front. And what he said after looking at it was that you could definitely tell when the semi hit us, it actually took our entire front plate of the RV and pushed it backwards. There's stress cracks up and down on the sides in the fiberglass from the pressure. And then when we actually opened the engine compartment and were able to look down, you could see to where the whole front panel had actually pushed back into the battery compartment holder and really jabbed some holes in there, along with being able to see more clearly all the cracks that went straight through the fiberglass on the way down. Along with the windshield and the mirror and the windshield wipers. It's pretty jacked up. He said that he could go home and look at it all and try to write an estimate on his own, but he said since we had found the place that we wanted to go over in Colorado, the body shop, where we should be able to stay, which would be pretty fantastic, he said that it would probably be best if tomorrow we went ahead and headed over there and had them write an estimate that we could then submit to Geico. So what we're going to do is tomorrow morning we're actually going to head out there. We're going to tape up the entire RV mirror, get it as secured as possible so that I'll be able to have a mirror while we're driving. And then we're also going to put some heavy duty packing tape on the outside on the windshield where the crack's at its worst, just to kind of, secure it a little bit more. I don't think we should have any problems, but we're so excited that the adjuster came out, looked at everything, and now we have some direction. We know that tomorrow we're going to be able to head out and get the RV someplace to where it's going to be looked at and eventually be on its way to being fixed. So we're really excited, and tomorrow we'll check back with you and let you know how the journey goes. So here we are Saturday morning, and as I had mentioned yesterday, our game plan was basically to get up this morning, tape up the mirror, tape up the windshield, and then head to the body shop in Colorado. Well, we called them back this morning, and it turns out they actually close at noon on Saturday, and if we were to take off, we probably wouldn't make it, because along the journey we do want to drive a little bit slower, just to be as safe as possible, and we wouldn't make it there by noon. So we did talk to them, and they said there was an RV park right across the street. So we gave them a call to see if we could get in tonight and tomorrow. With it being the 4th of July weekend, they were all booked up for tonight. So I asked about tomorrow, and she said it actually gets even more booked tomorrow. So really what it boils down to is that we're going to end up staying here at the rest stop, and then Monday morning we're going to tape everything up and head over to the body shop and be good to go and ready to roll, and we'll take all our steps from there. But overall, when we look back at this week, the hardest part about everything was just the waiting and really not having any answers or knowing which direction we were going to go. But the main thing that we've tried to focus on is staying positive. We have been stuck at this rest stop. By the time we leave, it's going to be about 8 days that we've been here, which is frustrating, and not knowing what was going on is frustrating. But Dr. Wayne Dyer has a quote that Katie loves, and we tried to live by this week, and it's instead of being nowhere, why aren't you now here? So that's really quite creative when you think about it, and when you try to look at it like that, at least for me and Katie, it made it a lot easier for us this week to get through everything and really push forward, because we focused on, okay, we're here, there's nothing we can do about it, let's just stay positive and move forward. So at this point, we've got pretty much everything figured out as far as having a direction. We know that Monday we're going to take off to the body shop. They're going to give us an estimate for the damage. We're going to be able to stay there while we wait for the repairs to happen, and then the estimate will be sent to Geico, and then we should be able to take it from there and move forward. So while it's not ideal and it's not the path that we were expecting to take when we took off from northern Georgia, it is a path, and it's a path that's going to ultimately get us to our destination regardless. But anyway, that about wraps it up for this week and how we dealt with the accident after it happened. In the future, we'll come back with another video that kind of highlights how we're going through the process of getting the estimate and figuring out next steps in order to get the RV fixed and back on the road. But if you guys have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to leave them below, or visit us at mountainmodernlife.com. Thank you much for swinging by today. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. So we were just laying in bed. There wasn't supposed to be any rain for like 10 days. And then tonight, earlier today, it showed up that there was going to be, a couple pop-up storms. And then all of a sudden, I just decided to check the weather map, and it says severe thunderstorm warning, gust up to 70 miles an hour wind, mobile homes may be damaged. And by hail and winds. So it said likely, actually. So we decided to jump in the car and come over here by the restrooms, and we're kind of watching the radar and seeing if we need to go inside or what's going on. So we're trying to figure that out right now. But as I'm looking at the radar, it does look like it's getting a little bit weaker. This is not how I wanted to spend my last night in Kansas.